Hello. Hi. Welcome to my channel. If you follow me on YouTube already, you probably follow me on my JD account and not this one right here, which if you are not, please subscribe because I have a lot of really exciting content coming to this page. But to start off this channel right, I'm starting it with this interview kind of ish docu-series that I'm doing for my breast cancer project. If you don't know anything about my project that involves Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, here's a short rundown. No, cat. Essentially what this is, it is a month-long project where every day I post a photo on Instagram and Facebook with a long caption, very long caption. If you're not already following me on my Instagram page, please do so. There is the handle right there. Follow me on Instagram. And my Facebook page is also the same name, it's just that. But essentially, I am posting a new fact about breast cancer every day, everything from financial relations with it, preventative care, post-operational care, what happens during the process of chemotherapy, and kind of the ins and outs of what they call the cancer industry. And some patients refer it to as being in the system. So to kind of jump off this bridge here, here's my first interview. So the first two women that I'm interviewing in this series, their names are Laurie and Tina, and they both are on the outside of breast cancer, meaning that they both have gone through treatment, and Tina is stage 2, Laurie was stage 3, and this interview is kind of them telling their story, the ins and outs of their care, what they've gone through thus far, and what you kind of have to look forward to in post-treatment. So anyway, that is all. I'm pretty much essentially ready to post this. I just wanted to give a little intro here to let you all know what's going on. Here are our people, and yeah. Oh, one more note before you get started in watching this saga, we're gonna call it. This interview I started recording about 45 minutes into our conversation already. It was like I walked in the door and they were already talking about it, so I didn't really get a moment to pick up my camera until about 45 minutes in. So just keep that in mind. This is about 45 minutes into the conversation, but they still kind of go over a lot of things that were already discussed in the previous 45 minutes, so you didn't really miss much of anything. So, without further ado, I give you this first interview.
Your chemo was bad. I had an aggressive form of cancer, Laurie.
So did I. I had invasive lobular stage 3.
Mine was invasive too.
Okay, I win.
You did have stage 3. Okay.
Okay.
And a double mastectomy.
I had double mastectomy. And 7 operations later.
Okay.
Okay. We might be.
And you
That's
ended up
funny.
with, you were supposed to have less radiation than me, but you had just about as much as I had 30 rounds. 6 weeks.
I had 6 weeks.
You were supposed to have 4 or 5.
I think it was supposed to be 5, but they added some in. Yeah, and I should have been done in March. Last March, I should have been done. Like operation-wise, that was my very first implants.
Yeah.
And I should have been done in March.
Yeah.
Considering you still have a Band-Aid on for your...
I have a Band-Aid from getting my drain out 2 days ago. That was my last operation. Was
Wow.
Tuesday.
Wow.
And the
That's
little
insane.
secret we learned about, which I didn't know you had a dentist appointment set up. I'm like,
God.
Laurie, if you haven't been to the dentist yet,
Oh, I was.
You might wanna
terrified
go.
I was terrified to go.
apparently the chemo like totally messes with your teeth.
No way, really?
Oh, I had 5 cavities.
I had 6.
She had 6
What?
I had to get a crown. I've never had a crown. My teeth are great. I had a crown. I didn't even know what a crown was.
I hadn't had cavities since I was 12.
Chemo does that to you.
Yeah.
That is
It
insane.
does something. It's every cell in your body. Your fingernails. My fingernails are still kind of fucked up, and my toenails are kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's just every
Yeah.
piece of you eyelashes, eyebrows, obviously. Hair,
But you know what
all that.
amazes me? Because it's, it's obviously it's killing off good things and attacking bad things too. But it's amazing to me that these doctors know how far they can take it without, basically killing you.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the thing that amazes me.
I'm just shocked that we haven't found any research that kind of says, prevents it from the start. Like, there's all these great things to do once you have it.
Yeah.
Well,
And it helps you get rid of it, but there's no preventative care.
Well, that is not true, unfortunately, because if you test genetically, if you have the BRCA 1 or 2 or whatever it is, a lot of people get double mastectomy
Preventatively, yeah.
That's
what
I had people telling me. I have friends who are older, they're like in their 30s or 40s, but they were like, I had friends who got double mastectomies as preventative care because they know that they have the genes. They just got it done just cause.
I totally would have done that.
Did you do the genetic testing?
Yeah.
And you don't have the gene?
Nada.
Yeah,
I got
I don't
nothing.
either.
I got no cancer in my family at all, except for smoking cancer.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So I guess we can say you have cancer in your family now, right? Because of you and me too.
Well, in those cases, it almost, because the one thing that I was reading about, not only is it a gene thing, but it's also an environmental thing.
Yeah.
So it goes off of like drinking alcohol hires your rate for cancer and stuff like that. And
yeah, but
it's all life decision things. So literally there's so many elements that can contribute to cancer. It's one of those things where it's you either lucked out and you did all those things, but you didn't get cancer in your life, or you were not
the person
lucky.
That never smoked a cigarette in their life, and then they have lung
They smoke a pack a day, but then they never get cancer
they're
ever.
93 years old, right?
Yeah, they're 93-year-old and
My
live the
dad
healthiest
is
life ever.
89 years old, who lives downstairs. All he drinks is beer and coffee. The man's
Yeah.
gonna live forever. He's completely independent, drives himself everywhere. He has an apartment downstairs here.
That's insane. That's so crazy.
89. He'll be 90 in January. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry I scared you so much that time, but I was in the midst of the hell.
Yeah. Well, I do feel I'm not always positive by far. It's funny because people at work, that's what Laurie was saying. She's like, I think that's great that you kind of pushed through and kept working.
Well, I think working would have helped me probably.
Yeah, because that was the only thing that I felt like I had control over, because nothing else I had control over. So believe me, there were good and bad times, but I do truly feel like there's certainly mind over matter to a certain extent, but sometimes it just, like I was telling Laurie, when I was home over the holidays, because I got a treatment on the 21st of December, right before Christmas.
Right.
That was the worst treatment. I think it's just because I was at home and I didn't have anything to occupy my time, so I could basically focus more in on how I felt.
Oh,
so.
I wallowed. I wallowed upstairs. Yeah, pretty much. That was me, unfortunately. But
Everyone deals with it differently.
It does.
And
we were talking earlier about coming out on the other end when it's so. I would judge people and think that they were. You would think someone would be happy and carefree and oh my god, yay me, we're done with treatment. It's not like that at all. It's actually, honestly, emotionally, it was way harder these last few months until just recently. Have been harder for me than during treatment. I mean, physically, of course, not. Well, physically, it's still been a crapshoot. It's still been a crapshoot. I mean, obviously, I had surgery last week, but it's still emotionally. And it's not about attention or the world around you or anything like that. It changes you. It changes everything. It changes your at a cellular level. I can't talk. Cellular level. It changes your family dynamics. It changes what you think, how you think about yourself.
Yeah.
Because you've gone so many months without recognizing yourself in the mirror. And I will look.
I didn't even look in a mirror.
I'm vain.
Most of the population is.
I've been pretty. I think for a long time, and I went so many months of looking like an alien.
Yeah.
It beats you down.
Yeah.
It really does. And I still feel ugly. I still feel I don't think I'll ever feel like I did before, ever. I mean, I feel like I've aged 10 years.
Well, it does number on your skin for sure.
It just
But you know what, my oncologist, it was so funny. I was telling her, I'm like, I was in the waiting room, waiting to go back, and I'm kind of getting toward the end of my treatment. In November, I'll be done with everything. I've gotten through the nasty part. Like, I'm
Sure.
not sick from it anymore. But I told her, I said, I sat there and I think I have it together. And then I saw what definitely looked like a newly diagnosed lady with her husband. And I wanted her to know that it's like, because I know that feeling. And like, you just go through weeks of numbness, going to appointment to appointment.
You have no idea
test to test,
what you're in
and
for.
Just to let her know that it's not always going to be
Yeah.
like
Doom and
that.
gloom
Yeah,
and
well, yeah, you're.
But then I want to get to the point. Well, although now we're talking about I'm not crying. Normally I'm crying when someone's like asking me something. But she said, you know what? You spent all those months, and I'm sure this is what you're feeling. It's like you had to be the fighter. You had to be strong. You had to go through the treatment. So when you get to the point you're at now, I totally get it where you're not happy and joyous because you're exhausted.
Yeah. And you're like, who am I now? Because everything has changed about you. Because you look at yourself and you're like, certainly don't look the same.
Yeah.
sure.
Feel the same. You're not the same person. You're not. You're not the same person to anyone. My family, my friends. I have changed to everyone, and I have. I'm still angry about it. I mean, I think that's what I found out. There's still anger inside me that
It happened.
Yeah, I mean, I have got a journal. I'm not a good journaler, but I have a journal that was actually right up until I got diagnosed, and I was so freaking happy, and it just pisses me off that I was in such a great place. We were in such a great place, and then it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I would probably benefit from being angry. I'm actually more scared. Like, I'm worried. It's
Yeah,
gonna
you are
happen
more.
again.
You're more scared, and I'm not. I don't think about that as much as you do. I don't.
Oh yeah, I think about when I'm not thinking about. Like I was telling Laurie, I said it's so nice now. Like every day in active treatment, the first thing you think of when you wake up is I've got cancer.
See, but we don't.
And I don't think about that anymore.
But you don't have cancer. Neither do I. We do not have cancer.
Well, we'll see. I got to get my my mammogram in 2 weeks. That'll be my yearly.
No, trust me. With all
her
your
substance,
with the,
yeah.
yes,
I got a lot of chemicals running through my
do
veins.
not have cancer.
But I don't think that's not the first thing I think of anymore. Waking up, which is awesome.
Well, and I haven't. Apparently, I haven't had cancer since last December. Actually, after chemo, right? Or
I don't know how to celebrate
whatever. I don't care.
You've
I don't
passed
wanna
your
celebrate
cancer
anything.
bursary.
Whatever.
You remember the day you were diagnosed?
Yes,
I remember the day I had my mammogram.
because it was like 3 days before I left for the beach, and let me tell you, the day I left for the beach was the day I went to go see the surgeon who told me I had stage 3 cancer.
And what day was that?
It was June. I can see it's July 27th or something like that.
Really?
It was literally.
Okay.
And then we came home from that appointment. I got in the car with Dawn and we drove to Duck. And I should have been with my husband. I really should have. And I regret that to this day.
Yeah.
That I processed it with her, and
Yeah.
that was the worst beach trip I've ever had in my life. I was just.
Yeah.
I should never have gone to the beach, and everyone's like, "Go, go, go," and I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I should have been home and just trying to figure myself out and with my family.
Yeah, mine was October 26th, so it's coming up.
Oh, okay.
It's so weird, when the year passes by, it's like you remember all that.
I went to
stuff.
beach this year, and it was an awful beach trip because it felt like I had such PTSD the entire week. It just felt like last year, so that was not fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to go back. I mean, I've been going to Duck in the same house for 8
You
years.
didn't get told over the phone, did you? Were you the one that got told over the phone, or was it somebody else?
No.
The diagnosis. I got we got your test results in. If you could come in and bring a close family member.
Oh,
I got
yikes.
I know you're not going to have me bring my husband in to tell me everything's okay.
I went to go get this thing that was out of my boob to my regular doctor, and she's like, "We need to go get you a mammogram right now." So I went down there. I called Gavin, and I was like, "Don't come, it's fine." And he came. He showed up. He left work. He showed up. I told him not to come, and I waited and waited. They did the first mammogram, and then you have to wait in that room or with all the other women in your robes. Everybody's sitting around in robes in that room, and then they went and did a sonogram, and everybody's just kind of looking, and I'm looking at everyone's face, and everybody's just stone, and then they take me into this other woman's office, and she's like, "Okay, we need to make some appointments for you." And I was like, "What's going on?" She said, "If you're sitting in that chair," because I was starting to cry. I was like, "This, oh my God." And she's like, "If you're sitting in that chair, you have every right to cry. Don't worry." Don't, you're
Wow.
okay. And she was like, do you have anybody outside? Because you don't want to walk out that door and just be sobbing. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, thank God my husband's here.
Yeah.
And it was just surreal. It was, I was like, me? What are you talking about? I'm the healthiest person I know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm in shape. I exercise. I mean, come on.
Like, there's no way.
There's nobody no one has cancer. I don't know anyone who has cancer in my family. There's nothing.
And the minute you get it, the amount of people that you find out that's like, oh, so-and-so had it, or I had it 20 years ago. It's like,
Or
what?
the
I
terrible
didn't-
stories that you hear, like, oh, they died. And you're like, oh, good, thanks so much. Like, really, that's so great. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Great. Nice to know.
Yeah, so you
Thanks.
found it kind of on the spot then.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Well, because I
got called back, like they saw something suspicious.
Oh, no, I
had to get
it
the
was sticking out.
sonogram, but then they did, I guess, like a needle
Biopsy. Yeah.
and I had to wait like 2 days.
Oh, no.
And then when the call
no.
came 2 days later, that's when she said, you could bring a close family member.
Like, why would you tell someone that over the phone?
Yeah.
Like, because then that signals that something bad is
But
coming.
think of it, there was no other way for them to do it. Otherwise, is they tell me to come, or they tell me on the phone.
They did tell you on the phone.
Right.
They did tell me on the phone.
Basically,
yeah, they did. Yeah.
No, but mine was just I went to the Zac Brown concert the night before with my girlfriends for a birthday from one of my girlfriend's 50th birthdays. I guess Gavin must have felt something because I was like, it's nothing. I don't think it's anything. It's I've had I'm not even due for my mammogram yet. I was like a month early.
Right.
You know, so I wasn't even late.
Yeah,
I
mine
had
was
my
coming
mammogram-
up in 2 weeks when I like, and I was.
Yeah.
Were you terrible on the self exam? I never
What's
did.
up? What's self exam? It was literally there was something sticking out.
Yeah, I never really did. I
It was-
like
it was-
randomly,
no, and honestly, I wouldn't have found anything.
You wouldn't have found- yeah,
I would never
yeah.
have found anything. And it was the day I woke up for that concert, and I looked, I got out of the shower, I was like, what's that? And I went to the concert, but the night.
Was it like a bump or
Yeah,
like?
it was like literally like a little thing sticking, like I don't know, like a little bump,
yeah.
sticking out.
Did it look more like a bug bite bump, or was it?
No, it was more like a raisin stick, like a skin, right? Like something.
almost like a knot. Would you call it
Yes,
more of a
yes,
knot?
that would be good. Or like, yes, exactly. It was like a knot.
How
It was
interesting.
like something sticking. I was like, and I was like, what the hell is that? Okay, well maybe that's just some crazy lymph node or
You
something.
see, that's the
I don't know.
difference
Right.
because you had the lobular, so yours is kind of hidden.
That's
They're
exactly
kind of
right.
hidden
That's
behind,
why.
and
It's
mine
way
was
back
like
in there.
ductal, so it was like in the milk duct
Right.
section of
Yes.
the. So mine was like in here, and yours was
Yeah, and then mine
around.
was, and my surgeon said it was probably in there for 7 or 8 years. I'd had mammograms, they didn't pick it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'd had like 2 mammograms prior. They didn't.
And it never got picked up.
Nope.
So it must have been just so deep into like the chest part, not even in the actual breast
It's
tissue.
way back in there. It's in the breast, but it's way back in there. And it grows pretty slowly, lobular. But it by the time it got to here, where you could see it, it was stage 3. It was big.
Wow.
That's why we had to do. And then when I got the MRI done, they saw something they thought actually ended up not being over here. But
Yeah.
I was like,
But you
take
might
it all.
just take it all out just to be safe.
Yes, I'm
Because they always say if you had it in one breast, there's a like 99% chance you'll get it in the other one as well. So like you might as well just get. If you have to get one taken out, just get them both done.
I was like,
yeah.
they're never going to look the same anyway. What's the diff?
Right.
Yeah, I would
You know?
definitely not do one. I would do both of them.
Oh no, you
But
can't do
yeah.
one. That's
Yeah.
stupid. Honestly, that's just dumb. Although this has been a nightmare, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm all right. It's it's been a struggle, but
Yeah.
I'm finally feeling like myself, and it took a solid over a year to even get to where I could feel happy or
Yeah.
like positive or wake up that I felt, not pissy,
Yeah.
bitchy. I felt like just really bitchy, and I really, when I went
Yeah.
to my counselors, and I was just like, I really want to come out of here. I want to feel like I'm better. I want to be a better person because having gone through this.
Yeah, and I wish you weren't. I wish I wasn't scared. I wish you weren't angry because I feel like you should be so darn proud of yourself.
Why?
Well, but you did. I mean, you
seriously,
had to do it.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that irritates me. Actually, people are like, "Oh, you're so strong." I'm not strong. I'm just living every day. It makes no sense at all. I'm not some strong fighter.
You
bullshit.
are.
What do you? No, I'm
you
not.
could let it. You could just let it take over,
What's-
and you not
what's-
do anything about it. You lived for your family. You did what you had to do.
I just did whatever he told me to do. I just did what people told me to do. I didn't realize,
to be better.
Of course, but...
And to survive.
But honestly,
I think that's a big deal.
The minute you enter that system, everyone, you're just following directions, honestly. There were very few decisions for me to make. The only decision really was the Oncotype score, where it was like, are you having chemo or not? And it really was not a question. She was like, you have to really have chemo.
Right.
So there were no decisions. And I just went along and did what everybody told me to do, and that was it. But there's no strength there, honestly.
Yeah, there is. Look, you
really
could have
disagree.
you took your situation that you had that wasn't great at the time, and you were willing to let me, I'm going to get all upset now, come over and talk to you.
Oh, but
When I was so scared about going through it.
it made me feel better. Like it was selfish, honestly, because it made me feel better to be able to talk to somebody who knew what I felt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know, but at the same time, they're like, by you doing that, I mean, although you did scare me. Glass half empty, glass but you know, it really, it made a huge difference.
Did it?
Yeah, I don't want you to be angry about it. I think it's amazing what you've been through.
I'm feeling better now. I'm not quite as angry as I was, but I'm
I
feeling
know.
better. But you know what made me feel so great was like giving you those wigs and giving you your hair and giving you the wig that I got. It was like, I just wanted to share. It made me feel so much better.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Doggy.
I just got it. I'm sorry.
Pause for the doggy.
What are you doing? Come on.
Oh.
Anyway, right? Yeah. This is perfect timing. Go. Go in. Come on.
Oh, puppy.
Go.
Oh.
But no, it shouldn't, just because it made you feel better, it shouldn't be selfish. Because you were still doing something good for somebody else.
Well, I think every time we do something for somebody else, we all benefit. Everybody benefits.
Right, and
ultimately.
that shouldn't, and that is not at all a selfish
Well,
act.
it's not so much that, but it's just, when people are like, oh, you're so brave, I'm like, brave? There's no brave here.
Well, you
at
don't
all.
have a choice.
Exactly.
I get that
Like, so
part.
what do you I'm living.
But you
every
have
day.
a choice of, you could have just
What?
shut down and not helped anybody out.
Well,
You could have just focused on yourself only and maybe wallowed in your sorrow.
oh, I did.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, trust me, I did.
The truth, Jesus.
That's what's funny because when people at work in particular you never missed a beat. I don't know how in the world we didn't even feel a difference when
We
you were
didn't know you
going
had
through
it.
all that. But it was like
I wish I had that.
Well, I didn't have a choice.
I could wallow. Unfortunately, if I had had a job to go to, I think I probably would have done better.
Yeah.
I
Now
really would.
they were pretty flexible, thank goodness. And luckily, I'm in marketing. I can do it at home or I could do it at the office. So sometimes when I wasn't feeling well, I just worked from home. It was kind of funny. One time we had a conference call. That was remember I told you I threw up twice. The first time was nerves of going back to work. The second time was legitimate. I think it was a damn trail mix. But anyway, so we're in a conference call and I'm like, oh my God, I've got so I put him on mute and I just
Oh
and then
no.
I texted my friend, I'm like, please tell me mute worked. Because sometimes I get so nervous
Right.
that it's not
Oh
going to
my
work.
God.
But
Yeah, that would
no,
be
really, it was nothing you said. Yeah, no, so I think it did help to kind of have to focus on something. But no, I really, you shouldn't take that away from yourself. Because, you could certainly let it take over your life.
Yeah, I guess.
You definitely could.
I don't feel like there was a choice involved, honestly. I felt like I have a family.
You went into autopilot. It was like you just had
You
to
do.
Yeah.
And actually, that's a thing that I talk with my counselor about. You have to get off of autopilot and you have to live with intention.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be intentional about what I do. And I have a choice to be able to do that now.
Yeah, yeah.
So perhaps that's the good thing that's come out of it, is that I actually can, decide what is it that I want to be. Because I'm not the old me. That's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah,
And
you will never
I will
be
never
where we
be
were
the old
before,
me.
yeah.
And I'm so tired of hearing fucking new normal. I don't want to hear those words ever again. The new normal, the new normal. I'm like, okay. Enough.
Like, I get it.
I hear
you know.
Enough. Right. It's like, and I'm pink. I'm pink ribbon fatigued as well. You know, there's a fatigue.
Hey, I wore it for the film.
I know.
And I have pink shoes over there.
I love those shoes. That's a whole different story. Like that's not a ribbon. But anyway, I'm so excited that I don't look like I have cancer anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Although I'm not afraid to tell people I have it. Or I had it. I took a dry cleaner the other day. The woman who works behind the counter. There was a woman there who the owner, proprietor, whatever, was saying, "Oh my God, you look so great." I said, "Well, you're feeling better." Blah, blah, blah. And then she left. And I was like, was there something wrong with her? Like, I just got over breast cancer, so you know, and she's like, I just got over breast cancer too. And we had a moment that, and honestly, that's happened more times than I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I had such connection with you.
Yeah.
I have such connection with, it's a sisterhood that can't be explained.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this Jackie at the dry cleaners next to Chin Chin Cafe is amazing. I heard her whole story. Like, I stayed there for like an hour, and we talked, and we hugged, and I love her.
Yeah.
And it's just, you can't, it's just being able to talk to somebody who knows exactly what you went through.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like it. It makes such a difference. It really does.
And I mean, those sort of things I'm thinking, because I'm trying to quantify why this happened to me and what can I get out of it and what can be better about this whole thing. And I mean, I do think that you can connect with people on different levels than you ever could before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing that can compare to that because, like, I was like crying when I left that dry cleaner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she said that she doesn't talk to anyone about that. She
That's
never
insane.
discusses it with anyone. She's very private. She's never, you know, she doesn't have any friends. Only her husband really knows. And it was just, you know. And so I went to go see her like 2 days ago, and it's like, she's like, "You look so great."
How far out? Is she less out of it
8
than you
years
are?
out.
Oh, 8 years out.
Mhm.
Oh, those are the people I like to talk
Yeah,
to.
me too.
Oh, wow.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't want the old recurrence people. You can because you are the ones that make me
You're
scared.
making me nervous. I honestly, I don't think about reoccurrence that much. I really
Oh,
don't.
I wish I didn't. I need your anger. I've got my fright. I don't know why. I think once I'm feeling better now I've got something else to focus on, which is worried about. I think
Well,
it's just because
you're still going to a center and having treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to go to the Fair Oaks office on a regular basis, I think although going to Life with Cancer it's still pulling me in a little bit. It still I mean, it's a good and bad. Like, it's great to meet these people, and it's great to go to exercise classes with cancer ladies, and
Right.
you know, and everybody's been through it or whatever, or going through it. But then it's like you're still in cancer world, so it's kind of like, you know,
You still kind of feel like the patient.
yeah,
In a way.
yeah, you still feel like I have cancer. I'm still a cancer person. But then again, at that retreat, I met Julie, I met that woman who gave me the wig, and it was like, it made all the difference in the world. Like, Julie was strangely, like, she just came up to me. She's like, "You look great in that wig. That looks fantastic."
Is that the first wig you gave me?
Uh-huh.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
That was like my old hairstyle
Uh-huh.
until it got crazy ratty. Then I moved on to your hair.
Yeah, I wasn't giving your hair. Yeah, that was like my hair. I was like, Yeah. So,
yours and Lori.
Nuh-uh, sweetie. It's
my hair
mine,
was like
beach.
nothing. I was like barely a little line in there. It was all her hair.
Yeah.
But then I went to that and I was like, you know what? I want to go there and be that person for someone else. Because I was just bald. It was October, so I was just like maybe 2 sessions in, maybe. I don't even know. Maybe 1 even. I was just bald.
I don't think I told you. Because you probably don't know. I didn't lose all of my hair because I did. Have you heard of that scalp pooling system you can do?
Cold cap.
And it's different than the one you were talking about. Ones where people change the cap.
Right.
This is another system called Paxman.
What is
and you
this?
basically have this like cooling thing that looks a little alien-like.
It
Didn't bother me. Yeah, but you put it on your head, and you put like this neoprene like cap on, and you're hooked up to this little. They have the machine at the treatment center. You
Right.
pay for the cap, and you have to sit there a half an hour before treatment. It gets down to -20 to -40 degrees.
I could not
In your
imagine
head.
doing that.
You wear that for half an hour. You go through like 4 hours of treatment, and then for an hour and a half afterwards, you have to, it's not really cool down, I guess it's warm up from that machine. And it literally, it cools down your hair follicles, and the chemo can't get to the hair follicle to, like, so basically I lost...
Was it worth it?
Yeah, I lost 40% of my hair.
Shut
I still
up.
had hair, and the reason I wore wigs is mainly it was a little on the cosmetic side because I couldn't color or like heat style my hair,
Right.
so it was not attractive hair, but it was hair nonetheless. So it's definitely a personal choice. Like some people are absolutely like Laurie, no way.
I can't think about.
I can't think about doing that.
That cold-
Some people
That's
get
good.
headaches. Some people.
Oh, I could
it
not
was
think
not
about-
like it wasn't that uncomfortable. It was like it was okay, but it was funny because now they've used it a lot in Europe, so it's kind of
Right.
starting to be more popular in the U.S. So the company name is Paxman. I am now a Paxman pioneer.
Ooh,
There's a press
fancy.
release that's going to come out about Virginia woman
Oh,
who
really?
used the system.
How much was that system, may I ask?
$2,200.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, you know.
But the nice thing about Paxman, I think it's a big deal. That's the most it will ever be, which it basically equals 6 treatments because it's like you pay for the cap, which I think is $500, and then it's like $250 a session. But they cap it at the $2,200. So the unfortunate lady that was in the room with me, she's the one that breaks my heart. She had stage 1 cancer 14 years ago. And opted for chemo. It was optional, but she went ahead and did it because she didn't want it to come back again.
Right.
Well, guess what? It metastasized.
14 years later.
14 years later. So she was doing the cold cap too, and like she was on her like 12th chemo session,
Oh,
and she had like a full head of hair.
no.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah, she did, and she was a teacher. She was teaching. She would come on Friday afternoons and do this chemo and
God.
still maintain. I don't know how she did it. Like at
job?
least my job, like teacher, totally different thing. My job, I could work from home. I could be on my deathbed and still get it done.
Or in your office and close the door. Or whatever.
Yeah, but she didn't have that. She had to be always
Wow.
on middle school history.
Oh my God.
Wow, that is.
Anyway, so Paxman's amazing. They cap that, you know, the 2,200,
Thank God.
Sure.
and they're starting to make headway with some insurance companies to help like cover.
Good.
Mine didn't cover it all, but mine didn't even cover a wig. Most do that.
I don't know if mine did or not.
I didn't even get like a wig allowance, which I thought they considered that cosmetic.
Or then there was a bra allowance for afterwards and stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mhm.
But the cool thing about that is that like, because sometimes I didn't wear a wig, and it just people didn't necessarily like. I felt like it was the one thing I had control over, and people didn't have to know I had
Right.
Oh, and that's
cancer.
beautiful because I was fucked. Honestly, I mean, wearing your hair in the hat, while it was cute a lot,
Yeah.
it itched.
Oh,
and
it was hot.
Oh
And it
no.
was, you could not do it for a long period of time. I went to one skating competition with it. I went to Boston Classic, I think, and I did it. But
Did you ever do the scarves? I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah,
rock-
oh, yeah,
I
the
couldn't
minute-
do
but
the scarves very
the minute I got back to the hotel, it was like, oh God, take this off immediately. I was like, oh,
It's just hot and
Yeah.
you cannot wear it for like more than 3 hours. It starts to really get to you.
Yeah.
Any of it.
I wonder, like,
Full
why
on.
would they not think to make those a little more comfortable? You know, like
Well,
that.
you would think.
I
well,
think it's just.
I don't think they could because it was very light cotton that was on top, and it was just the
Oh,
hair.
interesting.
It's just the hair.
I think it's, and also plus all those drugs that are going through your system.
Yeah, we feel like crap anyway.
Oh, your
it's
skin's
like
probably
it's
getting
not
super
hot-
sensitive
Yeah,
and
hot flash
yeah.
galore,
Yeah,
and then
yes.
add the wig to it. It just
And a
didn't help
hat.
things.
A lot.
And a hat
Yeah.
on top of that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it was. I at one point at the end, I was like, I cannot. That's when I gave everything. I was like, I can't. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do it. So I had like a black skull cap, and then I had like a little scarf thing that went around it. And I thought I looked cute
Yeah.
enough.
And it's funny.
Enough.
Like I don't ever put like it worked for
I did
me.
a skull. I looked at the YouTube like a turban. I couldn't do that. I did it. I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. I can't
But it
possibly
was
do
funny. They had like a Facebook Live thing where a doctor at the one hospital was talking about the Paxman system, and they had asked me just to be on there in case anybody had any questions from an actual
from
person
a
that
patient,
used it.
right.
And this like woman was like, "I'm not militant about it. You either you want to do it or you don't do. It doesn't matter to me." But this woman was just
Katie.
like, losing your hair is the least of your worries, and she started listing
Well, then
out
she
all
should
the
be. What is
different,
she doing?
you know, all the different things, the nausea, the blah blah blah. And I just responded. I said, look, it's a personal decision, and quite frankly, in my case, it was the one thing I had control over.
Yeah.
Cancer was going to take control of everything else. I couldn't help if I was sick or whatever the case may
And
be.
you lost your lashes and your eyebrows too.
Yeah, I wish I had little cold caps for my eyebrows. That would be helpful. But yeah, those were gone.
Yeah. I would have, you know. But honestly, I don't know if I could have done. I had long hair, so I couldn't do 40. I didn't have very thick hair. My hair's way thicker now.
Yeah.
I couldn't do 40% less of hair and cover.
Yeah, it was
There no
weird.
covering.
Like, yeah.
There's no covering up of 40% of my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is chemo curl, no product.
Yes,
right here.
this is it right here. This is it. And never gonna be. Same thing. This is my hair right there. Looks just like my hair.
Oh, the new growth.
Yes.
Right there.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was it.
That's funny.
So, is there anything specific that you wanted to ask us, or is there anything like?
I guess one of the things that I just kind of became super curious. The first thing was I just kind of wanted to hear about like your experiences going through chemo and like what all that was, how you found out, all that kind of good stuff. But then something else I was also super curious about were the finances of it. Like, what percentage did your insurance actually cover? What kind of copays were you still having to pay? Like, how expensive is going through chemo? How expensive does cancer get?
I don't know. My plastic surgeon was initially part of my Cigna. I had Cigna insurance, and then right at a very unfortunate time, my husband changed jobs, and we had United Healthcare, which my plastic surgeon does not participate with. And I received a bill in December from August. It was like literally from 6 months. They finally got around to sending a bill, like I don't know, $2,000 or something like that. And I literally set it aside because I had so many complications and so many problems and infections and issues. Now, I do not blame my plastic surgeon. I think he is a brilliant guy. I really do still believe in him immensely. I was very unlucky. And
Yeah, he can't control how your body reacts.
yeah,
to certain
he
things,
can't.
so.
He cannot prevent an infection that my body or that my body will not accept an implant on this side.
Sure.
It's not his fault. But I had 4 iterations of this chest
Okay.
with him.
So you had to go through 4 different surgeries to get
Like 7.
like your chest rebuilt. 7 surgeries to get your chest
It's
rebuilt.
Not necessarily done. We think it's done, but it might. Hopefully it's done.
Sure.
But it might not be done.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's been a long freaking year, and he says to me all the time, "It's like anybody deserves a break. It's you."
Right.
And I have not received a bill since. I don't believe I'm going to receive a bill.
Oh,
I've never
wow.
received a bill from my health insurance. I think I saw one bill during Cigna. I was like, I don't even know. I think one treatment for chemo was like $20,000
Oh,
or
it's
something
more
like
than
that.
that. It's
One
funny.
treatment.
Yeah, the first
One treatment for chemo is $20,000.
It's more than that.
One.
Actually, my just one drug is It's funny. It's the whole game. The doctor's office bills a certain amount, and then the insurance comes back
Pays
and says
back.
what's allowable.
This is what, yes. What's
So
okay.
no, my first chemo, I've never seen EOBs this size before. $61,000 for 4 drugs and chemo.
Oh my God.
What?
The normal averaged about. It was something like they would say, okay, this costs 61, and then the Cigna would come in and say, we think it's 29,000.
Right.
So they actually paid whatever the insurance company thought it was. No, but I tell you, Cigna has been pretty good.
They were
Like when
great.
I got diagnosed, I don't know how it was for you. Immediately, I got some like nurse that called me. Did you get that too?
Oh yeah.
I got some nurse, and then I had somebody else on the other side that helped with any claim issues I had. I was really surprised when it came to the insurance. But no, it was like each doctor, like the doctor's visits were like a $30 copay.
Right.
And then they do help you with a certain out-of-pocket maximum.
Sure.
So like you'll never pay, at least in my plan, more than like $5,000 a year.
Oh, I know.
Right.
But I have looked at my claim. I actually looked at them.
Oh,
We're talking for a calendar year, $300 and some $1,000.
And she's had way less than I've had.
Well, I've had more treatments though, because like The
That's
every
surgery
3
and staying in the
It's
hospital.
$17,000 every 3 weeks for my drug and $3,000 for the shot. So it's $20,000 a month.
I don't know.
For the
well,
drugs.
I know that the last time with my surgery, they called me and said it's going to be $100. I was like, okay, no problem. I'll pay that. I'm sure, and that was outpatient surgery, but I'm sure it was probably $50,000.
Yeah, and thankfully I met the
For just the
out-of-pocket.
surgery.
Yeah,
Just for that surgery with one surgeon. But I mean, the mastectomy with 2 surgeons, because one surgeon takes them out and the other guy puts them in.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was like $100,000. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then the dip flap or the flap that failed, I have no idea. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen a bill ever. So thank God that our husbands or you,
Yeah.
that my husband had great insurance.
Thank God for insurance.
yeah.
And good insurance.
Oh, I cannot imagine if we did not have the insurance that we have.
Yeah.
I can't. It would destroy you.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm thankful. Like, I don't know how you felt like going through treatment. I thought, what if I lived in another country?
I said, would
I even-
stuff.
Oh, I did. I'm like,
no, Europe's way ahead of us. Again, like
yeah, but I'm talking
yeah.
about not Europe. I'm talking about like a country that didn't have the advances in medicine we have. I'm like,
It'd
we
be
would
like
be screwed.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, or 30 years ago, or whatever. Like no, and I think I didn't have it 5 years ago even.
Mm-hmm.
I really am.
Yeah, I
And
think it has
I think
changed.
that even 10 years from now, it's going to be even that much better.
Right.
I thought chemo sucked. Do not get me wrong. It was
Right.
awful. I thought it was going to be worse. I really did. As bad as I told you.
Yeah, it's
I-
weird. It seems so barbaric. Where you're basically putting poison in your body, which
Oh, yeah.
is so weird.
And it's coming
to me.
out every pore, everything. But again, back 10 years ago, people were, wasting away, throwing up diarrhea, everything,
Yeah.
coming out. And thank God they have medicine to ease that now.
Yeah,
Right.
And like if I had not known about the Claritin for the Neulasta, if I had to go through that 4 times, I don't know if I could have.
yeah.
I honestly don't know. And let me tell you, that 4th time, it was hard.
Well, they
I'm sure
always
your
say
your
it's
last-
cumulative. So
It does. It gets worse and worse.
It does get worse and worse.
Yeah.
So.
The last time, I can't even imagine. Your last time was 2 times more than me, and that last session, I was just like,
That boggles my mind. So chemo literally gets worse the more you have
Yeah.
to do.
yes.
And because it does make sense, they say it's cumulative because it's
building
always
up.
building up because it's not out of our system now.
Still, yeah, our hair. This is still chemo hair.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything about everything.
Everything.
It's like you're saying your fingernails. They're like at one point, like right afterwards, it felt like it could just
Pop
right off.
Yes, it could. And there was a line, which I think is me. There's still a line right there. There's a line on your fingernails. That's the chemo line, but it grows out. It's like literally, it's every cell in your body is affected by chemo.
yeah.
Everything is just like
And that's
completely
why I'm
destroyed and
fascinated about the whole
rebuild.
thing. It's like I said, it's
Teeth.
kind of killing the bad
Everything.
cells and some of the good cells. So it's like
Lots of good cells.
How do they know what that balance is that it's not like killing you?
How
You
did
know,
they
with
even
the
start
medicine.
doing that? I don't even. Yeah, the
Yeah.
researchers. I can't even.
Gee, I wonder if it's like one of those things where it's like, wow, we should probably find some other thing that maybe is less destructive
Yeah, it does,
to your
definitely
body.
seems barbaric. You're basically getting hooked
Oh,
up
yeah.
with poison.
And then the radiation afterwards. When you're
Yeah,
when you're
that's
supposed to
weird.
be done, then they're blasting. And I got like extra at the end. Like
Oh, they do a booster. They call
yeah,
it the
like,
last
well,
week.
Yeah, why? I thought it was supposed to be gone. Why are we doing this?
So you have chemo and then you have radiation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah,
I
not
had-
everybody has that. Like some people only have surgery. Some people have surgery and radiation, and then some people
Yeah,
are
lucky
fortunate
us.
enough to have
All
surgery,
of them.
radiation, and chemo.
Chemo. Yeah. Right.
So-
The surgery chemo, and it depends on your.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different in terms of like what your series is.
Right.
Like
'cause it was
surgery,
funny, yeah.
chemo, and then radiation. And you had
Chemo, surgery, radiation.
Yeah.
Which
Interesting.
is weird because like when you first find out you have it, like I thought surgery would be like the first step. I'm like, I just
mine
want
made
everything
sense to me.
gone.
Yeah, mine made sense.
But based on the type that I had, they wanted to fight it with chemo first,
Right.
and then do the surgery, which is different.
I'm
Very normal though in the kind of cancer I have.
I'm kind of glad that I had mine the way I did because I think that would have freaked me out more
Like I liked getting
going
chemo
straight
first.
into chemo as a healthy person. I don't know if I could have done that.
Yeah, since it was the worst part.
Surgery is nothing.
Yeah,
comparatively, nothing.
And radiation is like
whatever. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was like whatever.
Yeah,
a bad sunburn. It's a pain in the butt to go every day. And honestly, it was nothing. Yeah, and they said like you're gonna you'll be exhausted. You'll be so tired. Like I'm tired every day anyway. What's the diff? I got nothing. And it was all good. I mean, honestly, it was the live aloe was the key. That was for me. It was the key. Gavin bought a pallet from Home Depot of little baby aloe plants. So every day when I get out of the shower, I'd squeeze a new one on my boob.
Yeah,
and it saved it.
And just like help with the burn a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's all relative. Like I think, like I said before, if you only had radiation and didn't have to do chemo, the radiation might have been like
terrible.
We may have been tired and not even know it because we were tired anyway.
That's what
like you said,
sure,
it's
kind of
like
tired anyway.
Yeah,
it's awful. But just all of those things just linked together, right after one after another, is enough to like just beat you down. I mean, it really kicks your ass.
And how long do treatments generally last? Like, is it a year-long process? Is it a 6-month process?
It's funny, is we have different things because you have lobular and I have the
I had
ductal.
Well, from July like 27th or so, and then I had my last radiation in March, and then I continued to have surgeries until last week.
Gotcha. Okay.
I should have been done in March.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
If things have been good.
So you had chemo every 3 weeks. Was it 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like, and that's the other
all
thing
for the
about
holidays.
chemo.
It was a fantastic holiday season, by the way.
Yeah,
lovely.
Well, it's funny.
Thanksgiving and Christmas were
funny
fantastic.
thing about chemo is that like I never did follow that pattern where like the first week was okay, then you hit rock bottom. And then you start feeling better. I almost fell off the cliff immediately.
I did too. Oh,
but then I worked my way up.
I never got back up.
See, that was the kind of the kicker with chemo because you like work your way back up, and when you think you feel kind of better, it's time to go back in again and get more.
Oh my God!
I can't do it. The first round, I remember I like went to still exercise, and like the at the Life with Cancer place, and the instructor was like, what? I was like, this is my good day. I'm like, I'm good. I'm still exercising. And I still had my hair and all this stuff. That was only first round. And then I went back after that. She's like, I told my husband, I was like, this girl came in and she's like, in her first round of chemo, and she's like, oh, this is my good day. I'm exercising and blah, blah, blah. And she looks all good in shape. And then she never came back. I was like, yeah, that was it. That was the end. And it was like, really, from the minute I got home from the treatment, I went to bed and I was fucking miserable for like, until I probably went back. I mean, it was just starting to feel better. Because no sleep. The sleep was really my thing.
I don't know why I didn't have that.
Well, lucky for you, because it was.
They did give me stuff to take in the evening.
I took the drug.
Lorazepam, I think, is what I.
Oh, I have that. That's not.
So it was definitely like a person-to-person thing. It affects everyone a little bit differently.
Yeah. And honestly, it was like something different every time. So I had drugs to mitigate the things, but then it'd be something new. And by the last one, it was everything.
Like, that was funny. Like when you first got diagnosed, they gave you like the shopping list of stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I felt like stuff to pick up, and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like someone's made a shopping list for like an 85-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Mucil and Fibercon.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
You look at my counter upstairs right now, and it's pretty full. To this day.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got still the glucosamine and all. Yeah, because then the drugs at the end, which I'll be on for at least 5 to 10 years, are like I was telling her that I had to go off of them for 2 weeks because I couldn't really walk. It made my joints and my heels so painful. I was like a 90-year-old. I would get up and I would just like hobble down the stairs. It was awful. It was really awful. And I called my oncologist. I was like, this is not good. I cannot do this. And this is keeping the cancer away. It's like anti-estrogen. So I was just like, and a lot of people don't stop taking it because of that. There's a lot of people who stop taking these drugs because of that. And then I don't
because it's just painful.
Yeah. No, it's hard to live. It really is. And so she said, okay, go off it for 2 weeks, go back on. Sometimes that's kind of the
kicker. Yeah.
And so far, I'm back on and I've not had that problem. So I'm hoping that that's it because
And it just kind of stays.
bad. It was really bad, like bad enough that I was like, I was like, this is not going to be like. Oh, sorry, it's not going to be like this for 5 years, right? Like I'm not going to feel this bad for 5 years because I'm absolutely not going to do that.
You have to take these pills for 5 years.
Yes,
and then you're
at least or 10, perhaps 10. It might be 10. I'm not sure. We're not sure. It's either 5 or 10.
They
Wow.
probably leave us in the dark.
I know, right? They'll be like, just take it for the rest of your life. You'll be fine.
Okay, I would.
The funny thing is
I
like
would.
I'm almost uncomfortable to not take something.
That's why I'm like I'm on for 10.
And these are the preventative drugs that are supposed to keep you from getting it again.
Usually it's, in a lot of cases, hormones are making this happen to you.
Right, I'm estrogen positive, so my cancer loves estrogen.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think, like, back to the health costs, I think,
Did you have to pay any money? I mean, I really haven't had to pay any money.
yeah, I mean, we had to meet our out-of-pocket of, our deductible is like $4,000.
Oh, no, ours
Yeah.
was not.
And then our maximum out-of-pocket is like $5 or something like that. So I've definitely met that. I mean, each of the echocardiograms are $800.
I did have to pay like $500 for the MRI. I remember that, but I think that was the old insurance. I haven't had to pay anything.
Quick question. What's an echo? An echo what?
Echocardiogram. It's just one of the medicines that because I did like the 6 rounds of chemo, and then after that was once every 3 weeks. But there's one drug I had to do for a whole calendar year. So all the nasty drugs I got out of the way, but the one
Never ending.
that I have to do for a whole calendar
Yes.
year.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's hard on your heart. So they have to
So it's like-
test your heart every 3 months to make sure it's still healthy.
yeah. So you think that you're done? You're never done.
So that's why I still have like a medical port
She's
in
got a
and
port, yeah.
For like the rest of your life, pretty
no,
much.
just for that year span.
But even
So
still-
Gotcha.
it'll happen in November. I'll get rid of
She's
this
still
thing.
in treatment, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like you're not done.
Yeah.
You're so not done. But you're done.
But it's even like what you were saying though before was that these pulse medicines still kind of make you feel like that you're not done yet.
Oh.
Because you're going to be taking all these extra medicines.
I'm never going to be done.
Right.
I don't think we'll ever be done. Because I don't think that for 5 to 10 years, for sure I'll be on this medication. But then you're still changed at your core. So you're never done.
You're just always going to be worrying about preventative care and like making
Because
sure it
the
doesn't happen again.
likelihood of recurrence with lobular cancer is much greater, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
The issue is that like the core issue of this whole thing is that it's so scary because nobody can tell you
Yeah.
how you got it to begin with.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's
no-
nothing you can do in your life. I mean,
to
you can
prevent.
read all these different things.
Oh.
Sugar can
Bullshit.
cause it. Alcohol.
Right.
It's like,
I'm not, fuck it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Have you changed your diet at all?
no.
Me either. Yay. Cheers to that. Cheers. And I have not, I might have curbed my alcohol use a bit, but I'm going to still live my life. I made a conscious.
You're still going to have like glasses of wine and you're still going to have
Yes,
beer
I'm
and
still going to have fun. I want to have fun and be with my friends and part
live
of
your
that-
life. And
Yes. And that's just the deal. And it doesn't feel like I'm being risky.
No.
I mean, but
Because
there's some people
nobody
that
can-
change their
yeah.
entire way of eating and all this stuff. I'm like, and that's, you know what? If it's going to get you, it's going to get you. And that's
Yeah,
how I feel.
that's
how I feel
too.
because it did for us. Because there was no reason I should have gotten cancer. There's no reason you should have gotten cancer at all.
Right.
because you don't have it in your gene pool, right?
And
Okay.
neither do you, because that's the one.
Yeah, neither of you have it in your gene pool, and yet you still ended up getting
It's so
it.
funny. Did you know some people don't do the genetic testing? I don't understand.
Why wouldn't they do that?
I don't
Because
know
they can't
either.
spit for that long. It was like really. Remember spitting into that thing for so long?
Spitting. I don't remember
You had to spit into like
spitting.
this vial you had to fill it up with spit.
Okay.
Did you guys go to the doctor to get this genetic testing done, or was it like a program that you just signed up for?
No, it was
a
part of what they told me to do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, honestly, when you get into the system, you just go and do what they tell you to do.
It's like you
Some
never
people
leave.
didn't do it, and I don't understand that. It's
Why
an
would you
additional.
not do that?
Well, it's an additional cost, and if your
I
insurance
think it was
doesn't
like
cover it, I
$100
think
or
it's.
something. Well,
It might have been like $5. But anyway, I didn't pay. It was all part of the.
Yeah,
I'd already
it was-
met
yeah.
the deductible, unfortunately.
It's all part of like what you're supposed to pay for
Yeah,
based on your
those
insurance and
tests would have made a difference between what I did surgery wise too.
right? Yes.
So I'm like, why would you not do that?
I would always yes. That's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have the BRCA, and perhaps your daughter
Exactly.
I mean,
It's
I
more
did,
than
I did
just you.
especially because I have a daughter,
Right.
you know, and she needed to know, do we have that gene in our family? And we don't.
And if you, yeah, and it was like if you did, then she probably should have gotten tested too.
Absolutely.
But you don't have it, so then it's more of just like a,
Just-
if it happens,
One
then
eight.
yeah.
1-8.
Says
Yeah.
the license plate out there.
I
in the
know, her
driveway.
license plate, tell her what
I'm not a personalized license plate person.
I love it. It gave me goosebumps. It's
But
awesome.
that stat is amazing. Like 1 in 8 women will get breast.
That was on my first post on Instagram. It was like one of my quick like facts that like everyone should generally know
So the
was the 1 in
license plate
8.
out there has WON in 8.
That's clever.
Isn't
that is
awesome?
that is so clever. I love that so
I
much.
thought it was genius. I was like, that's amazing. I had thin hair. But honestly, you know, if it's going to stay thick, I'm all right. But I just want it not to look like so, I don't know.
It's straight though. Like
It's
gotten
not.
straighter though, hasn't
Well,
it?
yes, it has. Although I think back here it's still pretty curly.
Yeah, mine's curly in the
Mine's
back
pretty
too.
curly.
It
But
grows
I just
out
like,
so
I
crazy.
have so much product in it, so I can't like let it not have product in it. Jesus.
Right.
But like
It's
a
so
lot of
long compared to bald. Isn't it?
Actually, I looked at pictures actually from the beach, and my hair's so short. And I was like, wow, it's really grown.
And I've been looking
So
at your
excited.
Facebook to see like the future of my hair.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
it's
what
because
is-
I'm like, how many months ahead am I?
Yeah, exactly.
I think ours is the same length now at this point. Yours grew faster than mine. Well, because you had yours.
Well, I had
still.
hair, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I did.
mine was gone.
Yeah.
That was awful. God,
Thank goodness you had a good shaped head though.
it doesn't fucking matter.
Head.
That's what everyone kept telling me. I don't give a flying fuck how cute my head is. It's still, I'm bald.
Okay, can you at least in other people have you looked at other cancer people and thought what a like pretty face?
Only
With the
that one
bald
woman,
head.
only the Gracie Foundation, only that one picture of that woman on top in the front of that book. No, she looks beautiful. I look like a fucking alien.
No, you didn't.
I don't
You
care.
were cute that day I came over. That you were.
I'm sure I
scaring me
did
about
myself up as
chemo.
best I could, you know. It's amazing how much more makeup I wear now than I've ever worn in my life because I just can't.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
Does your skin just like feel different?
No, I think it's just me. I think it's me feeling like.
Well, I think you wear like I wore more makeup to make myself a little more feminine than this hair allows me
Yeah.
to be.
Well, I can't. Yeah, and I can't. Yeah, I can't go out.
And earrings.
Oh,
There's
hell,
never without earrings.
never, ever, no, it's never happening. But I think that I wear so much more makeup now. I think because I feel like my face is so much older. I feel like I've aged. Number one, number two, because I have felt so ugly that I feel like I have to. And I don't know how many coats of mascara you put on a day, but I've got at least 7 coats of mascara on these eyes.
Well, you're probably just excited to have eyelashes to put them on it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So you
for a long
guys, so
time,
both of you
yeah.
lost eyebrow hair and
Yeah.
eyelash hair, all of it, just all of
Every
it.
hair on my head, in my nose too. Kind of.
You don't even forget, like, you don't even realize how much hair you have on your body. Like,
Oh.
even my arm still feels smooth, even
Mine
though
does
there's
too. I
hair
just
here.
felt it. I was like, oh, it's like barely anything. And like my bikini wax thing is like barely anything.
Yeah, some of it is welcomed. Some of
it's-
like the
it's-
last hair, that was great.
Yeah, that was awesome to go away. And it's not so bad now. It's not terrible.
Well, except for the fact I had laser hair removal before I got cancer
Oh, you did?
on my legs. I never had to shave them, which was awesome.
You did?
It has grown back some.
No!
That's just
sucks.
mean.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
terrible.
Gosh darn you, chemo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, but and it's funny. Like your nose runs all the time.
Oh, it did run
because you
all
don't
the
have
time, yeah.
you don't have hair.
Oh wow, yeah.
You don't
Every
realize
hair
how
in your
much you
body
need
is
it.
gone.
Yeah.
It is insane, and you look like an alien.
You truly are like a bald person at that point.
Yeah,
Like a
there's
100% bald
There's
person.
nothing. There's no protection at all anywhere for you.
That's insane.
Yeah, I remember the runny nose all the
running
time.
nose all the time because there was no nasal hair in there, so your nose is running all the time.
How crazy.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, it's just the weird things that you remember. You know.
So it's the little weird details, you know?
Yeah.
Things you're not quite used to.
Well, and the things that you wouldn't think. You know.
Right.
And like, who would think that you think about nasal hair and how important that is? It
Yeah.
really is. You know.
Yeah.
It does make a difference. You know. Although my underarm hair is not. I still shave it, but
Also-
I don't think I have it still.
I had laser hair removal there
Oh,
too.
but I think the
That didn't
radiation
grow back, yeah.
the radiation I think took care of it. I've never let it grow because I'll shave it, but there's nothing to shave.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. I think it's gone forever.
Well, that's good.
That's
See, there's
okay.
some pot. See,
It's all right.
Here you go.
positive all this.
Sure. I don't have to shave my underarms. Versus having cancer. Okay. Yay me. So what are you gonna do? But I am. I'm feeling much better. I really am. Like literally since August, since like end of August, I started going, okay. All right, let's try to get your shit back together here.
Yeah.
Let's at least before you're 50.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw that Facebook post. I was like, slay queen.
And it was honestly, I felt I sat down and I cried like a baby. It was the first time I broke a sweat without it being a hot flash
Right.
in over a year, and I was just like, I can't. But right after that is when I started not being able to walk with my stupid.
Oh my
It
God.
was right after.
So you ran a mile and then you were like, ah.
I ran 3 miles that day. 3 miles.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, I could barely walk. And then it wasn't that. It was that
The
drug.
medication, yeah.
Yes, and so I have not even tried again. And well,
When
now
did
from
you start
surgery.
back up? You said you took a 2-week period off and then back. How long have you been on it?
Back on. So
And you
it's
haven't had
been-
any issues?
It's been 2 weeks.
And you had issues already 2 weeks.
No,
Into
it was,
the first
it was
time.
3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks.
But they say
That's
exercise helps
super.
a lot, and I haven't exercised at all. Well, I've had surgery. Like honestly, I can't.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, I'm still wearing Spanx right now underneath here, like full Spanx up to here because they
Right.
took the fat out of my legs. So it's like, I just got all my bandages.
Wait, I'm sorry. I say that again. You got the fat taken out of your legs and put
In your chest.
into your chest.
Uh-huh. Oh, 3 times. 3 times? Twice. 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh no! I had the stomach. Okay, no, I had This one I had a lat flap, and that was legs, and then I had the tummy tuck with dip flap, and then I have a tummy tuck. It's fantastic. I guess.
Yeah, this
my
is
stomach.
flat
My stomach.
stomach.
You can bounce a quarter off that shit. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's nothing. I didn't do it. It's fantastic. And then this last time was I gained 70 pounds with both my children, but I was old when I had Graham.
Sure.
So the fat that was right here at my knee never ever
You were 37
went
when you
away.
had him, right?
I guess, yes.
Because I was 36. You were that old.
Did you gain 70 pounds?
No, but
Okay,
we were.
stop right there.
Have sense.
70 pounds when it does not snap back and we do with Madeline. But anyway, so I had fat right here, and literally my plastic surgeon's like, "What are you talking about? You don't have fat." I was like, "Yes, I do." And he's like, "Oh, you do." And at the at surgery day, I'm in the pre-op or whatever. He's drawing. He's like, "Oh yeah, that wants to come out." He's like, "That's not coming out unless I suck it out." I was like, "That's what I keep telling you. This is it. This is why I need you to take it." And he took it. And the minute I unwrapped those bandages, like 3 days after surgery, I was like, "Oh, my knees! I'm so excited." But it hurts still. To this day, I'm bruised like crazy all the way up and down.
Oh, yikes.
Whatever.
But
It'll be fine.
you got boobs.
I'm skinny. Oh my god. I haven't worn shorts in 20 years. Or like, well, okay, no, that's not true. 13 years because of him. Because of these knees. They're awful. It was like a deposit right there. It was crazy.
how interesting.
Don't ever gain a bunch of weight if you have a child very late in life. Just make sure. Just saying.
I'll
'Cause
keep
you'll
that in
never know
mind.
you never know where that fat's going to deposit itself.
And don't
it
ever
will-
get
Sure.
cancer.
And look,
Don't.
I did triathlon. I did a half marathon. I worked out like crazy. I was in
You were. I remember you being like the
fantastic
most
shape.
fit mom of the synchro
and I
moms.
still had fat knees.
Oh
Fat knees. It
man,
never went away. I tried so hard, and the only way they would come out is if somebody sucked it out.
how
They
crazy.
did, thank God. And my tattoos in my boob too. That's for my tummy tuck. They take. I guess they must cut skin up. They must, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
But they bring it up underneath. So I have I was just telling her actually, when I do push-ups now, I feel it in my boob because my
Instead of her
lat
back.
muscle is in my boob.
Oh,
Isn't that weird?
how strange.
It's very weird. Like I don't know if I want to do push-ups anymore. It's very weird. I don't know because it was
I
twitching
can't
there.
believe you. That's amazing that you do push-ups.
yeah, no, I was in shape, and then like I haven't been able to do anything. You can't lift with this stuff going on right now.
Sure.
So I need to I don't know. I have 3 weeks maybe. I have another 2 weeks to go before I can do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, but whatever.
I'm crazy.
I have skinny knees. That's all. Seriously, honestly, that is the most exciting part of this entire.
She got
scenario.
skinny knees.
My knees are skinny again. They've not been skinny since I was 37. 36. 36. So there you go.
Hey, the little thing is
Just
what
in
matters.
time
It's all about the little
I'm wearing
things.
a mini skirt. Fuck you.
Hell yeah!
A mini skirt to my 15th birthday party, wherever that might be. Is there anything else that you want to ask us about?
So I guess the last thing to finish off our night, what are some things, whether they're words of wisdom or advice for anyone that you would give who could be watching this, anyone going through cancer, anyone who is just curious of whether or not they have cancer, preventative things? What would be even if it's a couple things, just some more, any advice, any words of wisdom?
Absolutely.
Get a mammogram.
Although, I gotta tell you, mammogram didn't work for me.
But I thought it had been a few years in between.
I
thought they said you would need to get
every
them.
2 years.
Yeah.
But mine had been there for 7 years.
Yeah.
I'd had 2 mammograms prior to that. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I think that finding the resources, if you have cancer, if you find out that you have cancer, there are so many resources out there. There really are. I know that there's a lot of foundations and a lot of nonprofits that suck, but there's a lot of them that don't. Their Life with Cancer at Inova is the most incredible organization that is 100% funded by private donations and grants, and the services that they offer, from counseling for your family, for you, exercise, workshops, conferences, and it's all free.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to a counselor I was going a weekly. I don't need to go weekly anymore, but I go to exercise class 3 times a week. It's free, and it's associating with people who know how you feel.
Yeah.
And that has made a very big difference for me. Yeah. So finding and also getting those packages in the mail when you're feeling like shit, getting some socks and some lip balm in a package that's meant for you. It's great. I mean, it's nothing, but it makes your day. And there are tons of resources online to find. I mean, go to breast cancer online resources or it's easy. There's tons.
Sure.
Don't get too sucked into Facebook, because the only thing that you're going to find,
The horror stories are usually.
there are some, it depends on your cancer, of course, but there were some that I found helpful. There were.
Yeah, my doctors basically said,
Stay
do
away
not
from
get
the internet.
do not get in those chat rooms with people.
Oh, I don't do
and-
chat room. No.
It's
no.
just because people,
all you hear is
they
terrible.
glorify all the terrible things. But
Right, and for one person who's going to be terrible and post a bunch of stuff, there's 100 people who didn't
Exactly.
have that effect.
Exactly.
Have that side effect or whatever.
Yeah, I do think. They're not always detectable through mammogram, but it's a huge. I went
At least.
between 1 year to the next. I had stage 2
Sure.
cancer, but I did go annually, and I found something. And I'm not a great self breast exam, and I probably should have been. I was basically putting lotion on one day. I'm like, well, that's weird. This feels like a lump.
Is that
here.
what happened?
That's what happened.
I don't even know that.
I got out of the shower, put on lotion. I'm like, well, I'm going to go get my mammogram in a couple weeks. It's probably going to be nothing.
There you go.
And there we have
there you
it.
are. So from 1 year to next. So that was good.
Yeah, 1 year to the next.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, mine was 7 or 8 years, they said.
Because the
so.
key is, and then sometimes you're not fortunate enough to always find it, but early detection is the difference between us having this conversation today and somebody that has stage 4, because you don't have generally any side effects to make you feel bad.
I felt fine.
Basically, we had to make ourselves sick.
They
to make
us
ourselves
sick.
better.
Yes, right. Oh yeah, no, I felt
Because you felt perfectly fine with your stage 3.
I was fantastic.
Yeah,
Right.
I was too with my stage 2, walking around with my tumor.
Oh, for years.
Yeah.
I ran triathlons with stage 3 cancer in my boob.
Yeah.
I did.
So it's so weird to
Marathons,
think
yeah.
that you have to basically, okay, you've
It's
got
so
this,
hard
so we're
to
going to
do
make
that.
you sick.
And you don't even you don't realize how sick you're going to
Yeah.
be either. Like you have no idea what's ahead.
So you can hear as many stories as you want, but you don't actually know until you're there.
Yeah. And no one will ever understand unless they've been through it.
Right.
And it's true. And it's a sisterhood that is immediate and deep.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me cry. Like it's immediate. Like I'll meet someone who, I didn't know you from Adam. Chrissy, we have a mutual friend. And Chrissy called me and said, "Hey, I've got a friend who just was diagnosed with cancer. Could she come talk to you?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And we fell in love. I love you.
I know.
Yeah, and I love the woman at my dry cleaners too. Honestly, it's
More than me?
no. As well as I know you. No, don't think that. No, who did I call?
Yeah.
Yes, but no. It's like.
Yeah.
And you're down to the core. Like I showed her my boobs earlier. We talked about stuff, and she showed me her. I don't know, her little scar.
Then she had my little scar. You got
whatever. But no one knows.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a bond. I wish that you could have some other way
to reach this level.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If nothing else,
Yeah.
I think that's made a huge difference.
Yeah.
You really do have different levels of relationships with people.
Yeah.
After
Like you will always be a special, special person to me. Forever. Forever.
Oh.
You saw me at my worst. You did.
You freaked me out.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I had to tell you the truth. I was not going to bullshit you.
Yeah.
You needed to know going in because I did not know going in.
Yeah.
And
then I shared with you that your teeth were going to be messed up.
Yeah, they were. I went to the dentist like 2 days later. Or something. Oh, shit.
Right. God damn it.
6 cavities.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I've had 2 cavities my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know going in. I didn't know anybody who had breast cancer going in. So
That happened to other people.
Yeah. Oh.
That didn't happen to you or anybody you knew.
No, my mom had lung cancer, but God, she was 80, whatever, and she'd smoked her whole life. But, obviously didn't smoke for a long time, but we were not surprised. COPD ran in her family, and but this was a completely different,
Yeah.
I was too young for that. It was I'm the healthiest person I know. What the hell? I might drink a little bit too much wine, but who cares? That's not making me cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it should have been college if that were the case.
Right?
Every woman in college should be having cancer right now.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or every mom on this cul-de-sac, we'd all have cancer. Everybody would. So my advice to anybody is to reach out for help because there is help. Mm-hmm. There is help. And honestly, life with cancer has been a godsend to me on many levels. And my family too. Like the kids too.
Yeah, because you can't forget the other people involved in
caregivers,
this. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. And because it affects them just as much.
Yeah.
I think Daddy. So,
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for letting me in and be willing to share all the things. Okay, doggy's going crazy.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, thank you for even just letting people on the internet being able to they will never understand what it's really like to go through, like you ladies said, but to even just get a little sliver of what it could be like, of what it was for certain people. I think it makes a huge difference to hear from people with experience versus hearing all the stupid stories you hear from nonprofits. When you actually get to hear from someone who's been through it.
Well, I think it's refreshing.
It becomes more human.
2 people sitting here in a chair after all of this, sitting here having some wine,
with
having
hair.
a discussion with hair.
With hair.
Granted, not the, it does look like your
I don't
dog's
care.
without.
Honestly, I know, I
product.
bitch, but I'm like, 5 months ago, I would have thanked God for any of this.
Right.
Thank you, God, for any hair. I need to shut my mouth to complain.
Yeah.
Shut my mouth.
Yeah.
I have no business complaining about anything. Mm-hmm. That is one thing.
Yeah.
You're like, I have no business complaining about anything.
Why is everyone interested in the grapes?
They are. I don't know what's up with that. But it's been life-changing, that's for sure. Life-changing. And I don't wish it on anyone.
Yeah.
But if they have to, make sure there is help available.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that will be as generous with them as, my friends and the people I met have been generous with me of their time and their heart and their resources. And there are a lot of resources there. So don't think you're alone. You're not alone, for sure. 1 in 8. You're definitely not alone.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that's where we'll end it there. Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you all so much for watching that. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and give this channel a subscribe. Click the subscribe button for this channel if you haven't already. And give this video a big thumbs up, give it a like, comment down below what your thoughts are, and if you have any experience dealing with breast cancer, or if you've had anyone that was also dealing with breast cancer, go ahead and comment about that down below. I'd love to continue to have a conversation about this. Go ahead and follow my Instagram at jordan.bailey.d, and also my Facebook page is Jordan Bailey. I will also be linking all that stuff down below. I'm tired. Anyway, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah. Okay, bye.